One of the most fundamental concepts in nutrition is caloric density. Many advocates of the plant-based diet use caloric density in their program success, and it really is the key to weight loss or weight gain. Of course, other factors like metabolism and activity level play a role in weight loss or weight gain, but caloric density is going to have the biggest effect on someone's weight. Once you understand this concept, you won't have to count calories in order to make sure that you're at the right weight, and I'm going to show you how. Caloric density is just what it sounds like. How dense is the food in calories? In other words, it's the number of calories in a certain amount of weight of food. The idea is you can fill up your stomach with a certain volume of food, but the number of calories can vary greatly. So if the food you eat is relatively low in caloric density, you will not gain as much weight or not gain any weight at all, or even lose weight. So let's get into the science. In 2007, a report from the American Institute of Cancer Research and the World Cancer Research Fund stated that Americans should eat around 125 calories per 100 grams of food, or 567 calories per pound daily, and that they should eat mostly plant-based foods in order to achieve a healthy weight. In 2012, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics concluded that strong and consistent evidence in adults indicates that dietary patterns relatively low in energy density improve weight loss and weight maintenance. They also mentioned the lower the caloric density, the higher the nutrient density of a food. So if that makes sense, then what is the caloric density of foods? This is a chart that was published in an article by dietitian Jeff Novick that shows the number of calories per pound of different foods. Vegetables are the lowest, followed by fruits, starches, legumes, processed grains, and dried fruit, refined sugar, dry cereals, baked chips, fat-free crackers, pretzels, popcorn, nuts and seeds, and oil. Jeff also states that we should eat freely foods that are 300 calories per pound. Large portions are okay of 300 to 800 calories per pound. We should limit foods that are 800 to 1800 calories per pound, and we should extremely limit foods that are 1800 calories per pound or more. So that 2007 report that I referenced earlier stated that Americans should reduce their caloric density down to 567 calories per pound. Fortunately, many of the plant-based foods fall right into these recommendations. Now, a question you might be asking is, why does this matter? Who eats a pound of olive oil in a day? Here's why it matters.
Let's say I have a specific food. These are carrots. All right, this is a, couple cups. And here I have a bowl of carrots. It's smaller. This is more like a cup. And the point of this is anytime I have a food and I change the serving size, what happens to the calories? It changes. It goes up or down depending on the serving size. So if I want to know calories, I also have to know the calories for every serving size I might ever eat of food. But if I change the serving size, does the calorie density change? No. The calorie density does not change. It stays the same. Calorie density is what we call a constant. And in math, when you're doing equations, it's good to have a constant. So calorie density is a constant. So I may never eat a pound of olive oil, and I may never eat a pound of broccoli. But no matter how much broccoli I have and how much olive oil I have, will the olive oil always be 40 times more concentrated? That's the point of it. And I mean, just to put this in perspective for you, you might not eat a pound of olive oil, but has anybody in here ever eaten a tablespoon of olive oil? That tablespoon of olive oil have more calories packed into it than a full pound of broccoli.
So just as you saw, the caloric density of food stays constant. Even 1 tablespoon of olive oil can make a difference, maybe not in a day's or a week's worth, but a few months down the road and years down the road can have a big difference. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, which is a conservative number because many people consume more than this daily, but 1 tablespoon of olive oil is 119 calories. If you consume 1 tablespoon of olive oil per day in a year's worth of time, that's 43,435 calories in a year. There are 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. If you were to divide the total number of calories you would get from olive oil in 1 year by 3,500 calories, which is in 1 pound of fat, that would equal around 12 pounds of fat that you could be saving just by eliminating 1 tablespoon of olive oil per day. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't consume healthy whole sources of fats. I love avocados, almonds, olives. I love these foods, but it's really important, especially if you're struggling with your weight, to keep these in limited portions because they're very easy to overconsume. The other aspect of this is satiety. Just eating foods that are high in calories are not going to cause you that satiation and that sensation of fullness. You need bulk to fill your stomach up. Turns out foods that are highest in bulk, aka fiber and water, are plant-based foods, things like vegetables, fruits, starches, and legumes. So here's a good demonstration by Dr. John McDougall on how different foods fill up the stomach.
The way you satisfy your hunger primarily is by filling up your stomach. And so that's what you want to accomplish at every meal, is to fill up your stomach. The average person will burn 1,500 to 3,000 calories a day. And so if we divide the meals up into 500-calorie meals, it gives you some idea of what you might choose. Now, what I'm going to allow you to do is to eat 500 calories per meal. And I'm going to give you different choices of food to fill your stomach with. And remember, all you get is 500 calories. For your first meal, Dan, I'm going to give you 500 calories of butter. And this could also be 500 calories of olive oil or salad dressing that have the same amount of filling, not much, and you'd be very hungry and want more to eat. Now, if we chose, say, 500 calories of meat, that's all the fuller your stomach would get on 500 calories of meat. You would still be yearning more to eat. Here's 500 calories of cheese. Again, you're not looking at very much to fill your stomach up. Now, these are what people often think of as dieting foods, as meat and cheese, but they don't do much as far as filling the stomach. Let's take a look here at 500 calories of rice, and that could be white rice or brown rice. Of course, brown rice is healthier. A lot more filling. You're a lot more satisfied. Here's 500 calories of corn. Now, that is a lot of food. And here, Dan, I couldn't put 500 calories of potatoes in here. I could only put 400 calories in. So you got to imagine the extra potatoes sitting up here, not able to fit in the stomach. You have a choice. Here's 500 calories of a candied dessert, not much satisfaction there. Or here you could have 500 calories of very colorful fruits for dessert. That's the kind of choice you have.
So as you clearly saw, 500 calories of plant-based foods have no trouble filling the stomach up. Actually, he couldn't even get 500 calories of potatoes in the stomach, but 500 calories of animal-based foods and processed foods do not fill up the stomach and actually require you to eat more food, thus leading you to eat a higher caloric intake. You have a certain amount of space in your stomach that you need to fill up, and you are 100% in control with the foods that you put in your stomach. I'm not saying don't eat healthy whole sources of fat. I'm not saying don't eat processed foods every once in a while. I'm not telling you to eat greens all day. Actually, if you eat a lot of greens, you actually may end up burning more calories than you actually take in. But what I'm saying is you need to find that Goldilocks zone. And that really is a combination of vegetables, fruits, starches, and legumes, whole plant-based foods. They have the bulk and the right amount of calories to keep you satisfied. And this is why you don't have to count calories when you're eating healthy plant-based foods and limiting the processed foods. And I also want to say that if you're an athlete and you train a lot, you could probably get away with eating a bit more processed foods than people who exercise less. And I also want to say that I did not mention the other vast benefits of eating a plant-based diet that go beyond calories. So it's very important to eliminate animal products from your diet and limit those processed foods. So I'm done talking. Let me know your thoughts down below. Give it a like if you found this video useful, and share it with a friend to help spread this knowledge, and subscribe for more videos on plant-based nutrition. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
So you see, Dan, when people switch from these types of foods that are so concentrated in calories to these kinds of foods that are so bulky and dilute in calories, what happens is dieting and weight loss is effortless.